Yeah, first off, it starts and then all of a sudden all the Americans, certain parts is just adults. And I was only
Okay, we ready? Let's open the workshop meeting for June 31st, 2023. Yeah,
July.
Or I'm sorry, July 31st, 2023 at 5:03 p.m. Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Escovia.
Here.
Councilmember Bemanto.
He's excused.
Councilmember Stoller.
Here.
Councilmember Nichol.
Here.
Councilmember at-large Denise.
Here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, communication from the mayor. All right, discussion on communication from the public. Number one.
Number one is a request from Pastor Pablo Alvira on behalf of the New Life Christian Center to utilize the Memorial Park to bring hope and increase faith in our community for those struggling with addictions and depression, and with the Word of God on August 19, 2023 from 3 p.m. until 7 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Okay, hearing none. Number two.
Number two, request from Taylor Passman of Dunkirk Secondary School to use Promenchenko Stadium softball field to fundraise money for the family of the young boy who passed in the Dunkirk Breakwater on Saturday, August 12, 2023.
Any discussion, council?
Mayor, you are waiving the fee on this?
What's that?
You are waiving the fee on this? Number two?
Yes. Okay, number three.
Number three is notice of claim from Herminia Santiago of 41 Armadillo Street on an alleged city-owned tree falling on her vehicle during a storm.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none.
Number four, prior written notice from Stephen Reese of Clover Street reporting a tree allegedly being a hazard for electrical and communication wires.
Any discussion, council? Number five.
Loudspeaker permit request from Edwin Gomez on behalf of Dunkirk Football to use speakers for a live band at 4th Ward Falcons Club for a fundraiser August 27, 2023 from 1 to 5 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Okay, number six.
Loudspeaker permit request from Pastor Pablo Alvira on behalf of New Life Christian Center to utilize speakers, microphones, and instruments at Memorial Park, August 19, 2023, from 4 to 6 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Okay, let's move on to summaries of standing committees, boards, and commissions. Councilwoman, let's go. Okay. Councilwoman Stoll?
Nothing here.
Councilwoman Nichols? Okay, nothing here. All right, unfinished business?
None.
Let's go into discussion on pre-filed resolutions.
Number 43, resolution authorizing submission of fiscal year 2023 CDBG annual action plan to HUD.
Any discussion, council? None. 44.
Number 44, resolution authorizing renewal agreement with New York State Unified Court Systems City Court Security Service.
Any discussion, council? Okay, hearing none. 45.
45, resolution authorizing leasing Stern Building Courtyard to Handsome Rob Holdings LLC for events and other activities.
Any discussion?
And that still will be available for our revenues to use that for their Halloween happening, correct? They
Yes.
did last year.
Yeah, it's available for the city use as well, and we'll work with Hanson Robs relative to that. That would actually be part of the lease agreement.
Okay, thank you. Okay, 46.
Number 46, accepting Environmental Protection Fund Smart Growth Community Planning and Zoning Program Award.
Any discussion, council? So on this, given the current financial status, how long is the repayment on this once this is accepted? How long will it take? Any ideas?
How long will it take for repayment from the
Right.
state? Actually, we're meeting with Department of State next week. We're setting up a meeting, but generally, each each phase of it. We won't even be starting this project until next year. The remainder of this year will be an RFP for a consultant, and it's my assumption that by the time we enter into any type of agreement with a consultant and they begin, it will likely be 2024.
Do you know the dollar amount of all things?
Dollar amount of the grant is 70, it's in here, 70-some thousand. Exact amount, 73,400, I think. Yes, it isn't in there.
No.
73,000.
And it's 100%, we don't have to match it or?
Well, it's a 90% grant, but we're using our deputy director's time into it as a match.
Yes, go ahead, Councilman.
Could you kindly remind us about Resolution 59, 2022?
Well, that was just basically when we submitted the grant request. A CFA, Consolidated Funding Application, one of the requirements is to show municipal support, and that's one where the council passed a resolution demonstrating municipal support by allowing us to submit the application.
And, okay. Exactly how will the city use these funds to proceed to update LA consistency?
It's a total update to our zoning code that is basically quite old and outdated, given so many different type of uses and challenges, and just want to make it more consistent and up to date. Absolutely.
And so that's going to produce new zoning from property and maintenance codes for the city of Dunkirk?
No, this is zoning.
Zoning.
And it goes hand in
And
glove, whatever, with your comprehensive plan.
oh yes,
Yeah.
indeed. That was one of the action steps from the comprehensive plan, is to really make it work, that you need to update zoning code. And that's what this is, smart growth zoning code.
Okay. Supposed to aid future development.
Absolutely. Make it more consistent, make it easier and more transparent to what developers need, the information that they need when they're evaluating sites for different types of development.
Okay, so this also includes developing the database and... Okay.
It's a zoning map and basically defining allowable
Residential
uses
areas
and for each type of zoning area.
Our zoning is so outdated that nearly every project requires some type of review project.
Your questions are answered, Councilman? Okay. All right, new business, we have a walk-on.
Walk-in request from Chautauqua Center to park their mobile healthcare unit on 7th Street on August 8, 2023 from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. during an event at the Salvation Army.
Any discussion, council?
This is their brand new unit that they just had the unveiling last week, or a week and a half ago.
Okay, before we go into adjournment, Mr. Bobsing, we're going to go into
executive session.
executive information relating to the current.
It'd actually be the proposed acquisition, sale, or lease of real property when publicity would substantially affect the value thereof.
Okay, great. Okay. Can I have a motion to go in? I got a motion by Nichols and a seconded by Luskoviak.
Councilmember Descoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Mr. DeJoy
And law department and Okay, let's call to order the regular meeting for July 31st, 2023 at 5:38 PM. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Randy's not here.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Here.
Councilmember Bemanto.
He's excused.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Here.
Councilmember Nichols.
Here.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Yes.
Case certification of the prior meeting.
This is to certify that an official copy of the minutes of the Common Council meeting of Tuesday, July 18th, 2023 was presented to the mayor on Friday, July 28th, 2023. Pursuant to Section 3.03 of the Dunkirk City Charter, all items presented to the mayor are now in full force and effect, and witness whereof I have hereto set my hand and the seal of the city of Dunkirk, New York, this 31st day of July, 2023.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes and approve them as presented? I have a motion by Stoyl and a second by Nichols.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Okay, privilege of the floor.
The privilege of the floor shall be extended to any person appearing for themselves, in which case that individual appearing shall be limited to 3 minutes, and to any person representing any group who shall be limited to 5 minutes. When recognized, please stand and state your name and address. The city clerk shall have the duty of maintaining these time limits, and the chair may determine in his discretion whether individuals are speaking for themselves or representing groups. The first privilege of the floor is reserved for members of the public and shall be limited to subject matter relating to local law, resolutions, ordinances, and motions appearing on the agenda. The chair shall maintain good order and may require any speaker to cease speaking if remarks are made in bad taste or are slanderous or non-germane. The time limits specified shall be strictly adhered to, except that a chair may allow any person to complete a statement or thought started before such time has expired, and a longer time may be allowed by the chair with approval of a majority of the council.
Privilege of the floor is now open for agenda items. Anyone like to speak? Okay, going once, twice, 3 times. The privilege of the floor is closed. Communication from the mayor, including disapproval messages.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to defer my time here to our police chief so he can publicly make the announcement about National Night Out tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mayor. Tomorrow night will be our National Night Out celebration. It will be our 30th year. It's amazing that this community has kept this program going for 30 years. A lot of people involved behind the scenes. It'll be a great night for people to come out and enjoy a night in Washington Park. Our police officers will be there, firefighters will be there, and we're going to have lots to do for the kids. We're going to end the night with a movie, the Super Mario Brothers movie, so please, we encourage all our citizens to come out. It's a great night to interact in a positive situation with our police officers and firefighters. Normally when you see us, it's not a positive or good situation, so this is a chance for everyone to come out, and we'll have a lot of our officers out there. As I said, our firefighters will be out there, and it's a great night for community relations. We would not enjoy the success we have with public safety in this community if not for the relationship between police, fire, public safety, and the community that we serve. So please, everyone, come out to Washington Park tomorrow night about 6:30 and come and have some fun and enjoy the night with us. Thank you.
Thank you,
Chairman, I just want to announce also that there will be a movie tomorrow. It's scheduled at 8 o'clock, I believe. And also, the governor is planning on sending a representative here tomorrow.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, let's move on to communication from the public and petitions. Number 1.
Request from Pastor Pablo Alvira on behalf of New Life Christian Center to utilize Memorial Park to bring hope and increase faith in our community for those struggling with addiction and depression with the Word of God on August 19, 2023 from 3 p.m. until 7 p.m.
Any discussion, council? If not, I'll need a motion to refer to the appropriate departments and usual conditions.
So moved.
I got a motion by Councilwoman Lescoviac and a second by Councilwoman Nichols.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Number 2.
Request from Taylor Castman of Dunkirk Secondary School to use Promenschenko Stadium softball field to fundraise money for the family of the young boy who passed in the Dunkirk break wall on Saturday, August 12, 2023.
Any discussion, council?
Yeah, I just want the mayor to acknowledge that the fee for the stadium will be waived because it's of the situation and it is a fundraiser for the family.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, can I have a motion to refer to the appropriate departments and usual conditions? I got a motion by Nichols and a second by Lescoviac.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Beaumont.
Aye.
I'm sorry, Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Number 3.
Number 3 is a notice of claim from Herminia Santiago of 41 Armadillo Street on an alleged city-owned tree falling on her vehicle during a storm.
Any discussion, council? Not going to have a motion to refer to legal? Motion by Nichols. Can I get a second? Second by Stoyl.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Number 4.
Number 4, prior written notice from Stephen Reese of Plover Street reporting a tree allegedly being a hazard for electrical and communication wires.
Any discussion, council? Hearing not, can we refer to the appropriate departments?
So moved.
I got a motion by Councilwoman Lescoviac and a second by Councilwoman Nichols.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Number 5.
Number 5, loudspeaker permit request from Edwin Gomez on behalf of Dunkirk Football to use speakers for a live band at the 4th Ward Falcons Club for a fundraiser August 27, 2023 from 1 until 5 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Can I have a motion to refer to the appropriate departments and usual conditions? I got a motion by Councilwoman Nichols and a second by Councilwoman Lescoviac.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Number 6.
Number 6, loudspeaker permit request from Pastor Pablo Alvira on behalf of New Life Christian Center to utilize speakers, microphones, and instruments at Memorial Park, August 19, 2023, from 4 to 6 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Can I have a motion to refer to the appropriate departments, appropriate insurances, and usual conditions? I got a motion by Stoyl, seconded by Nichols.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Okay, reports of standing committees, commissions, and boards. Councilwoman Lescoviac.
Yes, I wanted to say that the storm we had Thursday, July 20th, had extreme high winds, and these winds were specific. In its path, it uprooted many poles in a row along the walkway behind the Clarion and also the veteran banners. Some were retrieved, others were lost at Lake Erie, and there were a few others that blew off in other different places as well. However, we are creating new ones for those that have been damaged or lost and placing them in a safer location for the rest of the summer. I have reached out to all of the patrons of missing banners, and thank you, DPW, for all that you do. I was in awe, very much so, for a week. Several citizens, Mike, have called regarding lights out on their street. I hear we've put it in an order last week, and I thought the LED company promised a 24-hour turnaround. Can you expand on that?
We put in for them. I sent them an updated list at the end of the week, and I'm sure they'll be here in the next few days to take care of the ones that were out.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
That is all.
Thank you. Councilman Stoyl.
Yeah, once again, and I never get sick of saying this at these council meetings, our police department along, and I told the chief I was going to mention these guys, Jim Catrone and his gang, They're busting drug houses left and right, and I never get sick of saying this at a meeting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And one of the interesting points of this, I asked the chief, out of the 10 people he busted, how many were the repeats? 7 out of 10. So obviously they're not using the drug place down here. These people want to die doing drugs. But that being said, thank you, chief. Thank the sheriff for us. Mike, let the guys know in the public works and parks. Everybody did a splendid job to keeping these streets moving, and I know people are on the phone calling, complaining about twigs when we saw redwoods knocked over.
Yeah, there was significant damage, and all the departments worked together and handled it very well. They worked very, very hard.
Yeah, thank you all. That's it for me.
Councilwoman Nichols.
Yes, they did an outstanding job, even after the fact of their normal work duties of the day. I don't know how they were doing it. I mean, it was pure adrenaline. And if you couldn't change your driving habits for 12 or 14 hours and go someplace else for a ride and let the guys clean up the point, I mean, yeah, they have no idea. They were just draining. Mike, can you give us an update on the paving?
Paving went out to bid. We accepted the low bid, and we're putting together that project. We'll make some announcements in the near future on what, when, where, why, and how.
Okay, Pam will take care of it in the paper.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, to the best of your knowledge, could you enlighten us on what is happening at the foot of Main Street?
The foot of Main Street Beach, that's a project by Chautauqua County Soil and Water. They rerouted some storm drains off the beach to get the stagnant water off of there. Now it's behind the high rise where they're creating a wetland, if you will, to handle that excess water runoff.
Okay, and the county is doing this?
Yes.
Thank you. Brush, they're still doing the brush collection, and it's basically what has come down from the storm, but they will pick up if there is a huge pile. Will they not?
We're focusing on the lakefront. That was the hardest hit areas, and full disclosure, we have a few weeks easily of just handling that stuff, and in our own parks and stuff as well. After that's done, we'll take a ride around the city, and if citywide brush pickup is warranted, then we will do that. But at this point, that's not the plan. We're just going to take and handle the hardest hit areas.
Right, because our next scheduled citywide one is not until September.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. It may be September before they get done picking up. Yeah.
Vince, do you know exactly or around about when they're going to still start the groundbreaking for the market? It's a good question.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's a very good question. We're discussing that in terms of we'd like to have the contractor there and a real groundbreaking, but it should be in the next couple of weeks as they're completing some other jobs. We're just waiting to find out when they can be on site.
And it's
We're
just
planning on it.
We'll have headlines, right? With a shovel, mayor will be there, hard hat, shovel, right? No?
We could do it
Okay.
all up, sure. It's fun.
All right.
Before I came, I noticed a little blurb from the governor, and she's now offering 2 $100,000 grants, and it's for smaller and rural communities. One is called Around 7 for downtown revitalization initiatives, and the other is Round 2, the New York Forward program. And
We just won that.
but she's just advertising it again.
Yeah.
Also,
It's
and the
just the next
deadline for
round.
that is September 29th. And there's a application on. I didn't know if there was another part of the incentive that we might be able to book onto.
One and done.
One and done?
Once you get 10 million, that's it.
Okay. No, I just, well, I mean,
From
she's
applying
offering
for
two $100,000 ones, and I just,
No, they're 10 million.
check her email.
The Downtown Revitalization Initiative in New York Fast Forward is,
I wasn't seeing things, but they were 2 $100,000 ones, but it might have been broken down into sections so that they're not one city getting $100,000. Never mind, I'm done, Chico.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the one thing I do want to talk, Mike, I know Randy's a little under the weather, but I thought how all the departments worked together during the storm. I realize it's going to be a process to get the city back up and going, but I just want to thank all the department heads for working together and getting through it the best we could. There was a lot of damage.
There was a lot of damage. We had guys from every department covering, and the workers out of a about 30-hour shift were home for about 2.5 hours. They worked straight through. So I give them a lot of credit. I don't know how they did it. We had guys from all departments. Everyone worked together. It was great.
Good deal. Okay, unfinished business.
None, sir.
All right, pre-filed resolution, number
43, resolution authorizing submission of fiscal year 2023 CDBG annual action plan to HUD.
Any discussion, council? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. 44.
Number 44, resolution authorizing renewal agreement with New York State Unified Court System, City Court Security Service.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none, clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 45, resolution authorizing leasing Stearns Building Courtyard to Handsome Rob Holdings LLC for events and/or activity use.
Any discussion, council? Okay, hearing none, clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 46, accepting Environmental Protection Fund Smart Growth Community Planning and Zoning Program Award.
Any discussion, council? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Okay, new business, we got a walk-on resolution.
Yes, sir. Yeah, walk-on request from Chautauqua Center to park their mobile healthcare unit on 7th Street on August 8th, 2023, from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. during an event at the Salvation Army, and we're going to need a vote to bring that up.
Yes, sir. Can I have a motion on the floor?
So
Bring
moved.
it on, off the table, or on the floor. So I got a motion by Nichols and a second by Councilwoman Letskoviak.
Okay. Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember D'Amico.
Okay, it's on the table. Any discussion, council, on this?
Yeah, I just read one paragraph on here for council to note that they will also allow tours throughout the duration of the event of their mobile unit.
Okay, if there's no other questions, we're going to need a motion to notify the proper departments. Motion by Stoyl, seconded by Nichols.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Second privilege of floor is open, if anyone would like to speak. Going once. Twice. 3 times. Floor is now closed. Can I have a motion for adjournment? I have Councilwoman Nichols and a second by Stoyles. All in favor? Oops.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, we're adjourned.
We made it by 6.
I don't know what the fuck I even come for.